You know, I was feeling pretty lucky as I was shooting this. When I left town earlier, I drove through beautiful frosty countryside, thinking that it would be better the further I went. No, it looked like this. There's barely any frost, but lots of blue haze. Once that haze started to burn off, though, it turned out that there actually was frost. That dull gray countryside and all those dark trees were actually covered with tiny frost crystals. But I knew of a little spring-fed creek close by that would probably have bigger frost crystals, so I went there. This water comes out of the ground too cold to freeze, but the air around it, yeah, it's plenty cold. So when the moisture coming off that flowing water hits that cold air, it condenses, and frost crystals form on anything that's handy. Well, except for watercress, I guess. The day was still kind of chilly, but the sun had power, and it was causing the frost crystals to break loose and start falling, kind of like snow. Still, there were hillsides where the aspens and poplars were managing to hang on to their frost. And they sparkled in that late January light. But the further west I went, the less sparkly it was, so after taking a few pictures in that dull light, I turned around and went back again. I was going south now, rolling through the foothills before turning back toward the prairies. The frost here was nearly gone, just a little bit hanging on. And just for a moment I thought these frost crystals were willow catkins, the season's first pussy willows. They weren't. But now, heading east again, all of a sudden there was frost everywhere. Turns out that fog bank that had made all the frost I'd seen earlier ran east to west instead of north to south. All I had to do was make a left turn and I'd have been in this all day. Still better now than not at all. And the light? The light was pretty sweet. But it was fading fast, as it does at this time of year. So with the deer coming out to feed in the fields, I headed back to town. Yeah, the day hadn't worked out quite like I'd planned, but you know what? It turned out just fine anyway.